welcome back, everybody. We are continuing the second half of our first review chapter talking about writing linear functions. So a reminder that linear functions can either be in point slope form, where you are filling in the y1, the m, and the x1, or in slope intercept form, where you're filling in the m and the b. Remember, x1, y1 is an ordered pair that they give you. M is slope, and slope formula is given to you here. And then B is the y-intercept. Our y-intercept is in the format of 0, whatever B is. Please make sure that you note the minus signs. The minus signs here. Stay in the formula. Whenever you're writing this, you start with keeping those minus signs in there. Sometimes, they'll end up doing the opposite and becoming addition, but we always start with making sure that they're there. Find the slope. To start with, we're just going to use slope formula. It doesn't matter which one you label as x1, y1, x2, y2. I just tend to go from left to right. So if I'm filling in the formula, we have y2 minus y1 over x2, which is negative 3, minus x1. 4 minus 2 is 2. Negative 3 minus another 1 is negative 4. And then remember, we always give our answers for fractions in lowest terms. So 2 over negative 4 simplifies to negative 1/2. Let's try letter B. We have x1, y1, x2, y2. Slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 8 minus 8 is 0. Negative 11 minus 5 more is negative 16. 0 divided by 16 is 0. So this is 0 slope. Letter C, x1, y1, x2, y2. We have 8 minus negative 9. So remember, the first minus here is in our formula, and then this here is the negative 9. So they both have to be there. And then on the bottom, x2 minus x1. So when I'm simplifying the top here, minus negative, remember, add the opposite becomes adding. 8 plus 9 is 17, and 4 minus 4 is 0. Ooh, we have a problem with that. We can't have 0 in the denominator. I don't know how to get 17 pieces from nothing. And so this is called undefined or no slope. Now that we've practiced finding the slope, let's practice putting things in point slope form. So that's that first one on the left side at the top that we talked about. We have our ordered pair that's going to be our x1, y1, and then our slope at negative 2. Plugging it in the formula, we have y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So remember, again, this first minus here is in the formula. The one right here at the top is the negative part of the 3 that's given in our ordered pair. So when we clean this up, I'm going to add the opposite there. Our final answer for this will be y minus 1 is equal to negative 2 times x plus 3. Letter B. We have x1, y1, and we have our slope. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Now we can leave it like this, but we can also simplify this just a bit. Y minus 0 is y. and then the rest of it can stay. So either one of these would be fine for us to leave on a quiz or a test. But this second part is how it would be written on a multiple choice like for ACT. Letter C, we have x1, y1, and our slope. Y minus, that's part of the formula. Then we have -1. So both of those have to be there. M times x minus as part of our formula, and then -2. Again, we're going to clean up the minus negatives by adding the opposite. So our final answer would be y plus 1 is equal to 12 times x plus 2. Remember, we're not doing anything more than that because the directions said in point slope form. We're still in point slope form, but now they aren't giving us the slope. We have to find the slope ourselves. So I'm going to use x1, y1, x2, y2 for slope. 10 minus 4 over 3 minus 1. 10 minus 4 is 6. 3 minus 1 is 2. And that simplifies to 3. Now for point slope form, it does not matter which of the ordered pairs we use. So your answer could be, using the first one, y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Or you could use the second one, y minus y1 is equal to 3 times x minus x1. Either one of these is the correct answer. You do not have to list both, but it doesn't matter which one it is that you have on your paper. Letter B, x1, y1, x2, y2, slope, -4 minus -1 over 8 minus -4. Add the opposite, add the opposite. We have -4 plus 1 is -3. 8 plus 4 is 12. And that simplifies to -1/4. So we can have y minus -1 is equal to -1/4 times x minus -4. Remember, we would clean that up with the add the opposites, which would be y plus 1 and x plus 4. Or we can use the second set, y minus -4 is equal to -1/4 times x minus 8. Again, cleaning up that minus -4 to be add the opposite of y plus 4. And the x minus 8 stays there because there's only one minus sign. And so either of those would be acceptable. All right, on this last one, they give us the ordered pairs on the graph. So there's two ways we can do this. We can use the slope formula like we have been. They give us the ordered pairs to do that. Or remember, we can count the steps we take on our graph. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Because I'm going down, it's -4. And then 1, 2 to the right. And -4 over 2 is -2. So just another option for you. Or you can always go back to slope formula. One of our equations then can be y minus -2 is equal to -2 times x minus 3. Clean up that, add the opposite, and it'd be y plus 2 is -2 times x minus 3. Or we can use this top ordered pair, y minus 2 is equal to -2 times x minus 1. So either one of those would be correct and acceptable as your answer. Slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form, remember, is y equals mx plus b. We only have b if the x value is a 0. So in this case, it is not. In this case, we have x1, y1, and we have a slope. We're starting then with point slope form. Y minus 5 is equal to 3 times x minus negative 4. I'm going to go ahead and add the opposite. So how do we get this into slope-intercept form? I'm just going to do some math here. We're going to distribute the 3 to get rid of the parentheses. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is 12. And then to finish getting y by itself, for y equals mx plus b, y is by itself, then we have to move the 5 over. The opposite of subtracting 5 is adding 5 to both sides. That adds to 0, so we have y is equal to 3x plus 17, and that would be our slope-intercept form. For letter B, again, we have x1, y1. Y minus negative 3 is equal to negative 1 times x minus 2. I'm going to distribute that negative 1 and add the opposite here. We have y plus 3 is equal to negative 1x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. Finish getting y by itself, subtract 3 to the other side. We have y that adds to 0 is equal to negative 1x minus 1. And remember, you can have the negative 1 or you can write y equals negative x minus 1. Either one of these is the same thing. This last one, again, we have x1, y1, and m. We have y minus 1 is equal to negative 1/2 times x minus negative 6. I'm going to clean up this minus negative to be x plus 6 and distribute. We have y minus 1 is equal to negative 1/2 times 1 is negative 1/2 x. And then half of 6 is 3, and a negative times a positive is a negative. So that's a negative 3 there. We finish getting y by itself by adding 1 to both sides. We have y that adds to 0 is equal to negative 1/2 x minus 2. We are going to skip over example 5 and go to the bottom of writing equations for horizontal and vertical lines. So when we have a horizontal line, it always seems at the same y value. That means that the changes in y is 0. It doesn't rise up or down. Because we always will then get 0 in the numerator, like 0 over 7 or 0 over 12 or 0 over negative 8, that means our slope is always 0. That equation, you might want to take a highlighter here. That equation is y is equal to b. B is the y-intercept, or whatever the y value is of your ordered pair. So let's say that your ordered pair was 4, negative 2, and you knew that it was 0 slope. Then your equation would be y is equal to negative 2. Vertical lines go up and down. Our x value stays the same. And so our change in x is 0. The difference is that, remember, it's y minus y over x minus x. So that 0 is in the bottom. We would have like 12 over 0 or negative 5 over 0 or something like that. We cannot divide by 0, so that slope is undefined. The equation is x is equal to, they have c here, but basically what that means is, let's say that we have, I'm going to change my pen color. Let's say that we have an ordered pair of -3, 4, and we know it's undefined slope. Our equation then would be x is equal to -3 because -3 is the x value in our ordered pair. So let's try a couple of these. I'm starting with undefined slope. Undefined slope has an equation of x is equal to, our x value in this ordered pair they gave us is 9, and so we write x is equal to 9. Letter B, we have a slope of 0. 0 slope is a horizontal line. It has the equation of y equals, the y value of our ordered pair here is 3, and so we'll do y is equal to 3. For C and D, we can use slope formula, absolutely, but I want to share something with you. I'm going to do highlighter and I'm going to change it to this color. If I'm looking at these two ordered pairs, I notice that the first x is 4 and the second ordered pair also has x is equal to 4. Our x value is the same in both of those. That means this is going to be undefined slope and have the equation x is equal to 4. If I look at letter D, I notice that my y value is -3 here and my y value is -3 there. Because they're both -3, that means my y is the same. My equation is going to be y is equal to -3. And again, if you would have done slope formula, you would have found that letter C would have 6/0, which is undefined slope. And you would have found that letter D would have been 0/6, which is 0 slope. This is where we're going to stop for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your night.